my God, dude. Ted Cruz's daughter is all of us.
And I hope and pray that Donald Trump will be reelected as president of the United States.
Yeah, look at that. She says, don't clap for that. You see that? She
and
knows.
I hope and pray that Donald Trump will be reelected as president of the United States.
Look at that, bro. The disgust on her face. And her dad is the biggest fucking Trump bootlicker. Like Ted Cruz, Donald Trump could show up at Ted Cruz's house and shit on his wife's chest and hand Ted Cruz a fork and say, eat my shit. And fucking Ted Cruz would do it, bro. He would. He would spoon it up, dude.
Hey, Mr. President, forgive me while I bash my head against this wall.
Oh, this is nice.
'Cause you can be a man in power, and it really doesn't matter how many women you assault.
Wow.
It's a human rights crisis, but at least there's lower gas prices. How could I complain? Guess I didn't realize sticking up for my rights makes me completely insane. Hey, Mr. Felonist, if you can't get a job, run for president. If you're a white man, winning won't be hard. I guess ignorance really is bliss. With all the facts that you dismiss, I'm surprised you've made it this far.
Wow, dude.
Hey,
Dude, that was money, bro. Holy shit, dude, that was good.
I don't know how to say this without pissing people off. The majority of my following is men, like 90%. And when you're like, not all men, you're right. It's not all men, because I have some great guys here on my page. But if you're wanting to say, not all men, and you're getting pissed off, you don't have to direct your anger at me.
Direct it at the
Don't
men.
direct your anger at me. I haven't done anything except for exist.
That is the point. Whenever a guy hears something about men, or women are talking about their feelings about, you know, SA or other things, or just issues that they deal with the predatory men that exist in the world, and then some guy comes running up and he's like, not all men. It's like, you should never say not all men to women. Like, obviously, we know that it's not all men. But if you're saying not all men to women, you are taking an energy to the women that you should be aiming at the predatory men. As men, we should hear what they say. And when we have that urge to say not all men, we need to realize, oh shit, what we really want to do is we want to aim that energy at our fellow men and make sure they stop being predators. It's real simple, but we don't. We continually allow men to be predators, and then when women call men out, we're like, not all men. It's like, shut the fuck up with the not all men. Take that energy to the men and hold them accountable. It would solve a lot of shit, because women, you know, a lot of times they're just venting about shit that they're going through, that they've dealt with, and they're feeling the effects of generationally. They didn't even get to vote until the 1920s. So there's a long history of men abusing women and women not having rights and women being held down and second-class citizens. And there is just a generational trauma that women, like, they're born into this world and they tap into that because it's just in the air around our fucking society. And then they go through life watching men like Donald Trump sexually assault women and get away with it. Pete Hegseth sexually assaults women and gets away with it. Brett Kavanaugh. The list goes on and on and on. Russell Brand. I mean, Robert Kennedy Jr. We can just go down the line, bro. And they're all getting away with it. And the guys will be like, well, no charges were filed. The charges were dropped. They never got convicted. And like 1 in 3 women are sexually assaulted. And so it's not all men, but it sure is a goddamn lot of men. And instead of hearing women when they're venting, having to live in a world that treats them with such disrespect and such utter disregard that sexual abusers will be given the keys to the kingdom, like Trump and Hegseth and Matt Gaetz, they're literally in line for the most powerful positions in the country. And rarely do they ever go through what Harvey Weinstein went through and end up actually in jail. And that's only after he terrorized women for like 50 fucking years, bro. And everybody knew about it. Nobody said shit. And then when we hear them vent, we want to say, oh, you got to make sure you clarify not all men. And it's like, no, man. Goddamn, we need to take it up with our fellow men. And with the Harvey Weinstein thing in particular, I love Courtney Love. She's been one of my favorite music artists forever. There's a video of her long before the Me Too movement, Harvey Weinstein. That was like 2018, right? That shit went down. But Courtney Love got asked on a red carpet 13 years before.
Do you have any advice for a young girl moving to Hollywood?
I get the chills.
I'll get live with this. Harvey Weinstein invites you to a private party and Four Seasons and stuff. Yeah.
You see that? Courtney Love. She had the balls to call it out in 2005. She said it. That was a full 12, 13 years before any allegations actually came to the forefront. Everybody knew. Everybody knew that he was a sex predator, but he kind of owned Hollywood. He had that much power that he could make or break everybody's career. All the men, all the women. So everybody just sucked it up. That's the world women live in. Nobody was going to call it out. And then finally, there's consequences for Harvey Weinstein after like 50 years of terrorizing women and getting away with it and everybody knowing. And what do we have now? We have a rapist who's the president and he's nominating other rapists in his fucking cabinet, bro. The shit never ends. This shit never ends, bro. It's up to us, men.
Don't you think that assaulting women is especially bad?
Are you a sinner?
100% everybody does bad things, but don't you think that assaulting women is especially bad?
I think that all sin is bad.
Would you let a violent offender get a firearm?
What's the rule? What's the law?
It says no. Donald Trump is a convicted felon. Do you trust him to uphold the law?
Yes, 100%.
Why do you trust him if he's a convicted felon?
I trust him. He's a sinner just like you. I trust him.
That's such a dumb answer.
Yeah, that is a dumb answer to say that he's a sinner because they think gay people are sinners too, but they sure don't get any trust, right? So they do have a little assaulting women, totally acceptable. Oh, he's a sinner. Gay person. Oh, shit, my panties are on fire. God damn, somebody put it out. The fucking golf club upside the head, bro. Jesus, dude.
Everybody knows that Republicans are just better with the economy. That's why 95% of the poorest counties in America are Republican. And 8 out of the 10 poorest states also Republican.
Touché.
In fact, a lot of people call the red states the welfare states because they're dependent on the blue states for federal money.
Dude, this guy is spitting, bro. Oh, shit.
The welfare states because they're dependent on the blue states for federal money every year. And that's just good business. Take Trump's tariff plan. Most economists agree it's going to cost consumers like me between $3,000 and $4,000 extra bucks a year. Why would I want to have that money to spend on my rent or at the grocery store when I could just pay it back to the federal government in the form of taxes?
Yeah, and then that money can go pay for, like, Oklahoma while they shove Trump Bibles up the asses of all their students. Like, sounds like a good deal, right? Dude, I just won't go out to dinner for, like, 5 years. And then I can fund Oklahoma's failing education system while they blow their wad on the Trump Bibles. Wow, that's a great deal. Thank you, Trumpy. Maybe you can come over and massage my prostate after you do that, too. Come on, man. I got to get something for it. So 2 things happened today. Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, was gunned down. This is brutal. And I feel like we're heading into some trouble here because that CEO assassination happened. The video is pretty traumatizing. The guy is just walking down the street and a dude comes up with a gun with a silencer and he shoots him in the back and then shoots him again several other times and then he just walks off. Now this guy is the CEO of United Health, which is a major insurance company. And it is an insurance company with one of the worst fucking records. It is like the greediest, shittiest insurance company out there. They have been using an AI algorithm to deny claims. And even though they collected data showing that they were denying legitimate and necessary claims, they went ahead and continued with the algorithm. And so they've denied like double the industry rate of claims. 32%, bro. They're double the industry average. So they're just looting. Now, why this is important is the simple reaction to what has happened, because our health insurance is so bad that the CEO of this company got gunned down in cold blood, and most Americans are almost happy about it. It's like really traumatizing in a way to see how comfortable people are with this CEO getting gunned down. Like this guy says right here, saw mainstream news coverage about the killing CEO of United Healthcare on TikTok, and I think political and industry leaders might want to read the comments and think hard about them. I'm sorry, prior authorization is required for thoughts and prayers. Sending prior authorization denied claims, collections, and prayers to his family. Was his trip to the ER really emergent? According to his own company, my husband's heart attack wasn't an actual emergency, and we were out $3,000. It's crazy what my first thought was, and then I looked at the comments and realized I'm not alone. And now, dude, if you've been on the internet looking, a lot of people have been kind of celebrating this guy's murder. I've seen people say, oh, this is ghoulish and how far we've sunk because of Donald Trump, et cetera, et cetera. But I think this has to do with the fact that these CEOs of these health insurance companies, they're literally murdering people every day with these denial of claims. Who knows how many thousands of people that these guys murder, and they're murdering them because they're generating profits for the stockholders. They're generating profits for upper management and for the CEOs, and they are generating a lot of profits, tons, and at the expense of human beings dying. And what's more, guys, the people that are dying are people who paid them for insurance. Our healthcare industry is set up so you can pay them for insurance, and then they can later say, we're not going to pay for your shit, and you're going to die. This system is so now this guy dies, and people are not very sensitive to his death. They don't fucking care. Like, actually, some people, I think, feel like he got what he deserved. They really do. Because people have lost loved ones because of denied claims. What is so obnoxious about this is on the same day that the CEO of UHC gets shot, Anthem made an announcement. Anthem says, you know what? We have a new policy now that anytime there's anesthesia for a surgery, you only get so many hours. And if the surgery takes longer, we're not going to pay for it. Now you have a time limit on your surgeries, or we're not going to cover anesthesia. It is crazy. Dude, it is medieval shit. This guy is like, Anthem probably should have read the room. But dude, I was thinking the same thing, guys, about the French Revolution. And the reason being is while we sit here and have these arguments about Republican and Democrat and Trump and, you know, whatever, and all this shit about immigration, the real problem we're having is we are having a problem with wealth distribution that is wildly out of control, wildly, to where, you know, the top like 1 to 10% of the country own everything, have access to all these resources, all this political power. The top 1% is literally buying elections now. Elon is like threatening to primary senators. The level of political influence that's being exerted by these companies and by these wealthy people is outrageous, while the average person is struggling. And there's, you know, increases in homelessness. There's increases in poverty. We looked at some of these states. Oklahoma, 15% poverty rate. Louisiana, Mississippi, 20% poverty rates. So poverty's increasing. School education budgets are going to shit. And when there is money for education, it's all going to the administrators. College prices have gone through the roof. It's getting harder to buy a house because corporations and hedge funds are buying all the housing. Homelessness is just getting out of control. And in the meantime, we have people like Donald Trump who are giving tax credits to the wealthiest people among us and saying, yeah, we're going to take care of the workers, but they're not. He's trying to dismantle their health care. They're trying to dismantle Social Security. They want to raise the retirement age. I mean, dude, it's one after another. It's like everybody is just shitting on the working class in every possible way, while the wealth class is just, money is getting handed to them while the rest of us are dying on the vine. Now, the reason I've been thinking about the French Revolution is because when you see what happened today, where this CEO gets gunned down by this guy in broad daylight on a New York City street, couple shots with the silencer, he's dead, the dude walks away. And the people, though, are milling around going, wow, that CEO got what he deserved, essentially. So at some point, you figure if the wealthy don't do something about that wealth distribution gap, and if the wealthy don't pay their fair share, I think eventually there's going to be some type of class revolution that happens, where large masses of poor people are going to start taking the fucking wealth from the wealthy. You know, like, we may very well end up with a French Revolution type thing, some type of class warfare. I'll be honest, guys, I feel like some of that might be necessary. Like, I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of having other people's obscene wealth just sort of flaunted in our faces. There's homelessness, people are struggling, and you have all these like wealthy people that are on social media and they're walking you through their garage, showing you their $5 million car collection and shit. And it really is obscene, the standard of wealth that some of these people are living in, and they're flaunting it on social media. They're like rubbing our nose in it, buying, you know, $100,000 BMWs or whatever. But like, dude, who needs a $150,000 car? You're only buying that car so you can flaunt to the whole world how fucking wealthy you are, bro. It's so gross, dude. I don't like that mythology. I don't like that ethos of telegraphing, hey, look at my fucking $40,000 watch. And then they cry when they get mugged. They wear like a $50,000 watch, and then they're surprised when they get mugged and their watch gets stolen, and they're like, oh, I can't believe they stole my watch. And it's like, why are you wearing a $50,000 watch? If somebody's wearing a $50,000 watch and they get mugged and that watch gets stolen, I tend to not really feel very sorry for them. I just don't, bro. Dude, it's gross.